Over 1,000 youth in Ekiti State have benefited from an agricultural value chain training and empowerment program. The lawmaker representing Ekiti Central Senatorial District, Opoyemi Bamidele, at the opening ceremony in Ado and Aramoko Ekiti, said that the training was part of his promise to tackle youth unemployment in the state through agriculture. Our reporter, Sunday Daramola, completes the story.
The training of the youth, artisans, women and persons with disability in various areas of agricultural value chain, which was at the instance of Senator Bamidele, according to him, was to empower them to be self-sufficient and become employers of labor through agriculture. The legislator was represented by his legislative aide, Mr. Bumi Ogutuashe, urged the participants to make good use of the opportunity to achieve the aim of the program. He explained that aside from equipping the beneficiaries with the knowledge and skills in agricultural value chains, startup capital was also made available to them.
Bamidele has a very large heart. He wants to encourage the youths, he wants to encourage the women. He promised to take the youths out of the streets, and that is why he's doing this. And what we are giving them is enough to take people out of the street, is enough for them to be able to be an employer of labor too.
The resource persons at the program, Dr. Nike Oluwafumilayo and Oluwatosin Ariyo, advised the youth to always avail themselves of the various opportunities in the agricultural sector and tap into its unending resources.
I taught them lots of things on fishery, different aspects of fisheries, and also how to be able to produce.
You can see the zeal in them for them to learn, and it's not what requires much capital. With little capital, they can start.
The chairman, Pickup and Lorry Association, Ekiti State, Mr. Sikiru Temitope, and his counterpart from the Nigerian Association of the Blind, Mr. Olajide Olatubosun, applauded the legislator for putting smiles on the faces of people.
We are very, very happy. I want to appreciate the distinguished Senator Opoyemi Bamidele for this great privilege and opportunity.
We really appreciate him, and this has saved us a lot from street begging.
Other artisans, youth, women and persons with disability appreciated Senator Bamidele for facilitating the training and empowerment program, which they said will make life more bearable for them.
Our Senator MOB, we appreciate him and we give him kudos.
He has proved that he's a very man that have the mind of people in the society in his own mind.
Thank him. Big thanks to him for this training section. Really appreciate him. Thanks to him. I really appreciate it.
At the end of the 3 days training and empowerment program, all the beneficiaries were given 50,000 naira each as startup capital. Sunday Daramola reporting.
The Court of Appeal in Abuja has reserved judgment in the Osun State governorship appeal filed by Governor Ademola Adeleke. Adeleke had filed the appeal against the judgment of the tribunal which invalidated his election as the governor of the state. INEC had declared Adeleke the winner of the election, but his victory was overturned by the Osun State governorship election petition tribunal for the election not being held in compliance with Nigeria's Electoral Act. The panel, led by Justice Tese Kume, also held that the governorship election was characterized by overvoting. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has assured the Labour Party's legal team that it will provide the needed documents the party had requested for its suit against the Commission and the President-elect Bola Tinubu before the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal. The chairman of the electoral body, Mahmoud Yakubu, gave the assurance at a meeting with the party's legal head, Levi Uzeko, and a 60-man legal team at the INEC office in Abuja. Yakubu also assured that resident electoral commission at the state commissioner at the state level would also make available necessary documents to the party. In another development, the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has assured that the issues experienced during the last month election would not reoccur. Speaking with newsmen in Lagos, Mr. Festus Okoye explained that the challenge with RF portal in the presidential and National Assembly elections were technical problems. He said the electoral body was making efforts to rectify all the problems to make Saturday's election credible, free, and fair. The presidential candidate of the Labour Party in the February 25 presidential election, Mr. Peter Obi, has told his supporters and party faithful to look beyond party line and vote for credible governorship candidates in Saturday's election. Obi said it did not matter if such candidates were members of the Labour Party, but insisted that those who believed in him would support good candidates from other political parties. In the meantime, the leadership of the Nigerian police force has ordered state commissioners of police across the nation to conclude investigation into alleged cases of violations of the Electoral Act 2022 during the last month governorship election. The police authority also directed that all case files be forwarded to the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) for prosecution. The Force Public Relations Officer, CSP Olumuyiwa Adejobi, in a statement said that Inspector General of Police, IGP, had also ordered his men at the various commands to engage stakeholders to ensure free, fair, and credible polls on Saturday. You're still watching Ektv News at 7. We'll now go on a commercial break. Please stay. Thank you once again for joining us. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has vowed to sanction commercial banks and business owners who refuse to accept the old Naira notes in the state. Sanwo-Olu, in a statement, vowed to shut down erring commercial banks in the state. He urged the people of the state to lay their complaints to constituted authorities if the old Naira notes were rejected. The governor lamented the difficulties that people of the state were passing through over the redesigned Naira. According to Sanwo-Olu, the old Naira note remained legal tender in the state. Meanwhile, the Nigerian Labour Congress (NLC) has issued a 7-day ultimatum to the federal government to end the cash crunch in the country. President of the union, Joe Ajaero, issued the ultimatum in Abuja at the opening session of the Central Working Committee meeting of the Labour Union. Ajaero found that the difficult situation foisted on citizens as a result of the cash swap policy, warned that on the expiration of the 7 days, workers would be directed to stay away from work if nothing was done to cushion the situation. He also criticized the current fuel scarcity in the country, lamenting that workers were being adversely affected. Meanwhile, the Central Bank of Nigeria (CBN) says it did not issue any directive to commercial banks to dispense and accept the old 500 naira and 1,000 naira notes from Nigerians. The acting director of corporate communication of the Apex Bank, Issa Abdulmumin, in a statement said the clarification on the old note was necessary to set the record straight in reaction to a statement by the governor of Anambra State, Professor Charles Soludo. Report says that the former CBN governor and the incumbent governor of Anambra State, Soludo, had quoted the CBN as having said that commercial banks were dispensing and accepting the old notes. Back home in the state, the Deputy Speaker of the Ektv State House of Assembly, Mr. Kim Jamiu, has called on the drivers of articulated vehicles plying Ado Iworoko Ifaki Road to be cautious in their driving while passing the road for the safety of lives and property of residents. Mr. Jami made the call during his visit to the accident scene involving a trailer at the center of the market in Iwuroko Ekiti. The Deputy Speaker, who is the Chairman, House Committee on Works, lamented the incessant accident occurring in the town by the articulated vehicles, noted that the Ministry of Works must take an urgent step to rehabilitate the bad portion and erect road breaker on the Iwuroko axis. Also, the Chairman of Ifedara Local Council Development Area, Mr. Shino Guleye, who had earlier met the Alawuruko in council with the Deputy Speaker, opined that they would work with the community for the solution. Residents thanked God that no life was lost and appealed to the government to fix the bad portion of the road to avoid a recurrence. The website of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, has reportedly crashed amid the commencement of a recruitment exercise. Applicants were said not to have been able to access the website for the recruitment application, which was to last for 2 weeks. The Director of Media and Advocacy of the agency, Femi Babafemi, confirmed the development, explained that it was due to issues resulting to traffic on the website. He assured the applicants that the issues were being looked into and will be resolved without delay. The 2023 Mock Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination UTME, which was slated for Thursday, has been moved to March 30 this year. The shift in dates was set to have been due to the gubernatorial and state houses of assembly elections on Saturday. A statement by JAM's head public affairs and protocol, Dr. Fabian Benjamin, said that candidates who registered early and indicated willingness to take the exam will be notified as and when to print their UTME slips. He further said that this year's UTME will witness some groundbreaking innovations aimed at addressing observed infractions and center failures. The Kano State Fire Service has confirmed that a fire incident has razed some shops and property at the Singa Market in Kano. A statement by the Public Relations Officer of the service, Saminu Abdullah, said that officers of the command swung into action when it received a distress call. Abdullah said several makeshift shops were completely razed by the fire, adding that the fire service was yet to ascertain the cause and the accurate number of the affected shops. A Makurdi magistrate court has reminded two students, Ugozo Japheth and Gwebe Sheba, over alleged culpable homicide and robbery. The magistrate, Mrs. Edote, did not take the plea of the defendant for want of jurisdiction. She ordered the defendant to be remanded in Makurdi Correctional Center while investigation into the offenses continued. It was reported that Ugozo Japheth had fraudulently received 150,000 naira as advance payment for house rentage from the victim, Naomi Erika. The police prosecutor said that upon the receipt of the money, the defendant connived with the second defendant and deceitfully lured the victim to his house under the pretext of giving her the keys to the apartment. While the victims got to the defendant's house, both the defendants attacked her with a cutlass and buried the corpse of the deceased in a shallow grave. The case was adjourned till 12th of next month. On the front scene, about 22 migrants have died when their boat sank off the coast of Madagascar. The maritime authorities confirmed that about 47 people had been in the boat when it sank off the French territory of Mayotte. The authorities also gave the figure of the passengers who had been rescued to be about 23, while 22 bodies were said to have been found. Still taking foreign news, the Texas Board of Nursing United States had announced that it had charged 75 nurses to court over issues bordering on falsification of certificates. On the list posted on the website of the board, 43 of the names were identified as nurses of Nigeria origin. The individuals who acquired the fraudulent nursing credentials used them to qualify to sit for the National Nursing Board examinations in order to obtain license to work as registered nurses. And that's it tonight on Ektv News at 7. Coming after this is Ironi. Many thanks for watching. From all of us, it's good evening.
Ẹ̀kálẹ́ ìròyìn lẹ́kùnrẹ́rẹ́ látẹnu Olúbùnmi Ìbítẹ̀yẹ. Gómìnà ìpínlẹ̀ Èkìtì Ọ̀gbẹ́ni Bíọ́dún Oyèbánjí ti pín mílíọ̀nù 3.5 náírà fáwọn tó kù díẹ̀ káàtó fún láwùjọ lábẹ́ ètò ìrànwọ́ ìjọba rẹ̀. Owó ìrànwọ́ náà ló jẹ́ èyí tí ọ́fíìsì gómìnà ṣagbátẹrù rẹ̀ ni wọ́n fún àwọn 14 tó béèrè fún ìrànwọ́ gómìnà lórí ètò ìlera, owó ilé ẹ̀kọ́, owó okòwò péréte àti ìbéèrè mìíràn. Yẹmi Ọlájútẹ̀mọ́ mú àbọ̀ ìròyìn náà wá, ẹ jẹ́ ká gbọ́.
Ní ìrànwọ́ látọ̀dọ̀ gómìnà Bíọ́dún Oyèbánjí ọ̀hún ni wọ́n ti kọ́kọ́ ṣe ìwádìí wọn fínífíní bóyá tòótọ́ làwọn ohun tí wọ́n ń béèrè fún, tí wọ́n sì wá sí ọ́fíìsì gómìnà láti wá gba owó ìrànwọ́ ọ̀hún. Nígbà tó ń san àwọn owó náà sí àpò òṣùwọ̀n báǹkì oníkálukú wọn, ẹni tó jẹ́ olùrànlọ́wọ́ sí gómìnà Bíọ́dún Oyèbánjí lọ́fíìsì rẹ̀, arábìnrin Ṣọlá Àbẹ, ló ṣàlàyé pé àgbékalẹ̀ ọ̀hún ló jẹ́ ìwòye àti ètò tí gómìnà Bíọ́dún Oyèbánjí gbé kalẹ̀ fúnra rẹ̀ láti máa ṣe ìrànwọ́ fún àwọn èèyàn tó bá kù díẹ̀ káàtó fún nípínlẹ̀ yìí, pàtàkì lórí ìgbé ayé rẹ̀ wọn. Ó ṣàlàyé pé gómìnà fọwọ́ sí ṣíṣe ìrànwọ́ fáwọn ẹni náà lórí àwọn tí oníkálukú wọn ń bẹ.
Lọ́lájú lọ́ṣẹ́ gbé ètò kalẹ̀ ní ọ́fíìsì wọn láti máa ran àwọn ọmọ bíbí ìpínlẹ̀ Èkìtì lọ́wọ́. Ó pé oríṣiríṣi ọ̀nà nípa ètò ẹ̀kọ́, nípa medicals, then àwọn tó bá fẹ́ jẹ́ kí nǹkan tó ń ṣe kó gbòòrò sí, wọ́n tún máa ń kọ̀wé sí ọlọ́lá láti ràn wọ́n lọ́wọ́. Ìrànlọ́wọ́ yìí ó ní bá ṣe máa ń ṣe, a máa ń ṣe investigation wa, a béèrè, a pè àwọn hospital láti mọ̀ bóyá òótọ́ ni àwọn patient yẹn wà lọ́dọ̀ wọn. A dẹ̀ ṣe recommendation wa sí office governor, so tó bá ti approve ẹ̀, a fún wọn ní nǹkan tó bá ti ní ká fún.
Bákan náà ni ẹni tó jẹ́ olùrànlọ́wọ́ gómìnà lórí ọ̀rọ̀ ìbáraàlú sọ̀rọ̀, arábìnrin Mary Ọ̀ṣọ́ Mọ́tọ̀ṣọ́, ló ké sí àwọn tí ó jàǹfààní ètò ọ̀hún kí wọ́n lo owó náà fún ohun tó wà fún.
Ìmọ̀ràn mi fún wọn ni pé àwọn tí wọ́n jàǹfààní ìrónilágbára kí wọ́n jọ torí Ọlọ́run, nǹkan tí wọ́n ní kí wọ́n fi nǹkan tí wọ́n àǹfààní tí wọ́n jẹ lórí ìrónilágbára yẹn, òun náà ni kí wọ́n lọ ṣe. Kò ń ṣègbà tí wọ́n bá fún wọn ní owó láti bẹ̀rẹ̀ okòwò ni wọ́n ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ máa rántí pé nǹkan kan wà ní nǹkan míì tí wọ́n fẹ́ ṣe, kán má lọ divert ẹ̀ sí nǹkan míì.
Lára àwọn tó jàǹfààní owó ọ̀hún bíi ọ̀gbẹ́ni Dayọ̀ Adéríyè tó jẹ́ olórin, ọ̀gbẹ́ni Victor Olóòkèrè àti ọ̀gbẹ́ni Abíọ́dún Abégúndé ni wọ́n dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ gómìnà Bíọ́dún Oyèbánjí fún ìrànwọ́ náà, tí wọ́n sì ṣe ìlérí láti lo owó náà fún ohun pàtó tó pọ̀.
Because nǹkan tí mo béèrè gangan náà ṣe fún mi kò dín, so ó máa jẹ́ kí iṣẹ́ mi tẹ̀síwájú.
Mo ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ wọlé sí federal police, mo nídìí àti táàtì wọn tí mo tí mi wọn ń dání, mo ṣàdúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run wípé ìgbà tí mo kọ lẹ́tà wá wọ́n dẹ̀ ṣe gẹ́gẹ́ bí wọ́n ṣe.
Ọ̀kadà ló kọlu ìyàwó mi tó ká ẹsẹ̀ láti lọ ṣe operation fún èèyàn ló wá mú mi kọ lẹ́tà sí ẹlẹ́yinjú àánú gómìnà wa pé kánjọ kan ṣàánú mi, kán ràn mí lọ́wọ́. Mo dẹ̀ dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run pé mo wà náà, mo fẹ́ pé ràn án lọ́wọ́ lẹ́yìn.
Yẹmí Ọlájútẹ̀mọ́ ló ń jábọ̀ ròyìn.
ó lé ní ẹgbẹ̀rún kan àwọn ọ̀dọ́ nípínlẹ̀ Èkìtì ló ti jàǹfààní ìrónilágbára nípa àgbẹ̀. Aṣòfin tí ó ń ṣojú ẹkùn gbùngbùn Èkìtì sẹ́nítọ̀ Ọpẹ́yẹmí Bámidélé tí ó ṣíde ètò náà nílùú Àdó àti Arámọkọ Èkìtì sọ pé ìdánilẹ́kọ̀ọ́ náà jẹ́ ara ìlérí rẹ̀ láti gbógun ti àìsíṣẹ́ nípa àgbẹ̀. Sunday Daramola jábọ̀ ìròyìn ẹ jẹ́ ká gbọ́.
Ìdánilẹ́kọ̀ọ́ àwọn ọ̀dọ́, oníṣẹ́ ọwọ́, àwọn obìnrin àti àwọn àkẹ́dá ẹ̀dá ọ̀hún tí sẹ́nitọ́ Bámidélé ṣe agbátẹrù rẹ̀ gẹ́gẹ́ bí ó ti ṣe sọ ló wà láti jẹ́ kí àwọn ènìyàn náà doníṣẹ́ ara wọn nípa iṣẹ́ àgbẹ̀. Aṣòfin ọ̀hún tó lù ọ́n lọ́wọ́ rẹ̀ kan ọ̀gbẹ́ni Bùnmi Ògúntó àṣeṣojú fún rọ àwọn tó jàǹfààní ètò náà kí wọ́n lo àwọn àǹfààní tó wà nínú ètò náà fún ìdàgbàsókè ara wọn àti ìdílé wọn. Ó ṣàlàyé pé yàtọ̀ sí ẹ̀kọ́ àti ìmọ̀ nípa ọ̀rọ̀ iṣẹ́ àgbẹ̀ tí wọ́n ti kọ́ àwọn tó jàǹfààní ètò náà ni wọn yóò tún fún wọn ní owó láti bẹ̀rẹ̀ iṣẹ́ lẹ́yìn ìdánilẹ́kọ̀ọ́ náà.
Àwọn opó àti àwọn ọkùnmọdé lọ́kùnrin lóbìnrin àti àwọn artisans, àwọn oníṣẹ́ ọwọ́ tí wọ́n ní ìfẹ́ sírú nǹkan báyìí bọ̀ tí wọ́n rí àǹfààní, gbogbo wọn ni a lọ káàkiri ní the 5 local governments. Àwọn ni senator ń ṣe empowerment fún lọ́wọ́ báyìí.
Àwọn olùdánilẹ́kọ̀ọ́ níbi ètò ọ̀hún ọ̀mọ̀wé Níkẹ́ Olúwafúnmiláyọ̀ àti Olúwatósìn Àríyọ̀ gba àwọn ọ̀dọ́ nímọ̀ràn láti ṣàmúlò àwọn àǹfààní tó wà nínú ṣíṣe iṣẹ́ àgbẹ̀. Wọ́n sọ pé àwọn tó jàǹfààní ètò ọ̀hún wọ́n ti kọ́ láwọn ọ̀nà tí wọ́n yóò gbà ṣòwò jèrè lórí ọ̀sìn ẹja tó fi mọ́ àwọn iṣẹ́ àgbẹ̀ mìíràn. Alága ajé ìgboro nípínlẹ̀ Èkìtì Síkírù Tèmítọ́pẹ́ àtojúgbà rẹ̀ lẹ́gbẹ́ àwọn tó nípèníjà ojú ọ̀gbẹ́ni Ọlájídé Ọlátúbọ̀sún tí wọ́n wà lára àwọn tó jàǹfààní ètò náà gbóríyìn fún sẹ́nitọ́ Bámidélé fún ìgbésẹ̀ náà.
Inú mi dùn gidigidi wípé wọ́n kà wá sí nínú àwọn tí ó jẹ àǹfààní. Dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ wọn gidigidi o.
Àdèmó fẹ́ àkókò yìí dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ sẹ́nitọ́ Ọpẹ́yẹmí Bámidélé pé wọ́n ṣe ohun lọ́pọ̀lọpọ̀ nítorí pé gbogbo ìgbà náà ràn wá lọ́wọ́ mú àwọn èèyàn wa kúrò ní títì láti máa tọrọ bárà.
Bákan náà àwọn oníṣẹ́ ọwọ́, ọ̀dọ́ àti àwọn àkàndá ẹ̀dá mìíràn tó tún jẹ àǹfààní ètò náà dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ aṣòfin ọ̀hún bí wọ́n ti ṣe sọ wípé ètò náà ni yóò mú ìgbé ayé dẹrùn sí fún wọn.
A dẹ̀ ń dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ wọn, à ń fẹ̀mí ìmoore wa hàn, a sì ń wojú wọn lọ́wọ́ máa ràn wọ́n lọ́wọ́ àti lọ́wọ́ àti wọn kò ní nira.
Bámidélé Ọpẹ́yẹmí Ọlọ́run máa bù fún wọn try wọn ṣe é. In fact, bá tún rírọ̀ wọn báyìí tó bá tún ṣerú ẹ̀ fún wa inú wa lè dùn.
Ó wọ mọ́tò, ó wọ plane, kò ní jábọ́, kò ní fara pa. Gbogbo ẹ̀kọ́ tó kọ́ wa ló wúlò fún gbogbo wa pátápátá.
Haúsá gan-an inú wọn dùn. Alágbára Ọlọ́run àgbogbo ṣiṣẹ́ tí ọmọbìnrin bá ti fi sí ọwọ́ wájú ni a lò.
Lẹ́yìn ètò ìdánilẹ́kọ̀ọ́ lọ́jọ́ mẹ́ta ọ̀hún ni wọ́n tún ró àwọn tó jẹ àǹfààní ètò náà lágbára pẹ̀lú ẹgbẹ̀rún lọ́nà 50 náírà láti bẹ̀rẹ̀ òwò lórí àwọn iṣẹ́ àgbẹ̀ tí wọ́n ti kọ́ wọn. Sunday Daramola ló ń jábọ̀ ròyìn.
Ilé-ẹjọ́ kòṣẹ́milọ́rùn tí ó jókòó nílùú Àbújá ti sẹ́nu rọ̀ lórí ìdájọ́ tó ní ṣe pẹ̀lú ètò ìdìbò ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun tí gómìnà Adémọ́lá Adélékè pè tako ìdájọ́ ilé-ẹjọ́ tó ń gbọ́ awuyewuye tó ṣúyọ lẹ́yìn ètò ìdìbò tó ní kí wọ́n yọ nípò. Ìgbìmọ̀ ẹlẹ́ni mẹ́ta ti ilé-ẹjọ́ kòtẹ́milọ́rùn náà tí Mohammed Shaibu Kòsọ́dí ti dákẹ́ díẹ̀ láti ṣàgbékalẹ̀ ìdájọ́ lẹ́yìn tí wọ́n ti gbọ́ àwíjàre lẹ́nu àwọn agbẹjọ́rò. Àjọ INEC ti ṣèlérí fáwọn agbẹjọ́rò ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú Labour Party pé wọn yóò pèsè gbogbo ohun èlò àti ìwé tí wọ́n ń béèrè fún ètò ìgbẹ́jọ́ wọn pẹ̀lú ààrẹ tí wọ́n dìbò yàn sípò Aṣíwájú Bọ́lá Tinubu nílé ẹjọ́ tí ó ń gbọ́ awuyewuye tó ṣúyọ lẹ́yìn ìdìbò. Alága àjọ INEC Mahmood Yakubu ló ṣèlérí yìí lásìkò tí kọ agbẹjọ́rò ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú tọ́mọ̀wé Living Uzoko Kòsọ́dí ṣàbẹ̀wò sọ́fíìsì rẹ̀ nílùú Àbújá láti wọ́nà láti gba àwọn ìwé tí wọ́n nílò. àjọ elétò ìdìbò INEC ti fi àrídájú hàn pé àwọn ìṣòro tó ń kojú lákòókò ètò ìdìbò tó kọjá ni kò ní wáyé mọ́. Kọmíṣánná àjọ náà fún ìlanilọ́yẹ̀ àwọn olùdìbò Ọ̀gbẹ́ni Festus Okoye ṣàlàyé pé ìpèníjà tí àjọ náà kojú lákòókò ètò ìdìbò ààrẹ àti ilé ìgbìmọ̀ aṣòfin ni ó wáyé látàrí ìṣòro tí ó ṣúyọ nípa ìmọ̀ ẹ̀rọ. Ó ní àjọ òun ni ó ń sa gbogbo ipá rẹ̀ láti rí pé ètò ìdìbò ọjọ́ Sátidé jẹ́ ìtẹ́wọ́gbà. Olùdíje sípò ààrẹ lẹ́gbẹ́ òṣèlú Labour Party nínú ìbò ààrẹ ọjọ́ 25 oṣù tó kọjá, Peter Obi ti ké sí àwọn alátìlẹyìn àti àwọn ọmọ ẹgbẹ́ rẹ̀ láti má fi ti ẹgbẹ́ ṣe kí wọ́n sì dìbò fún àwọn olùdíje tí wọ́n rí pé wọ́n kójú òṣùwọ̀n nínú ètò ìdìbò gómìnà tọjọ́ Sátidé. Èyí sọ pé kò ní fi ṣe tí àwọn olùdíje náà kò bá jẹ́ ọmọ ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú Labour. Ó fi kún pé àwọn tí ó nígbàgbọ́ nínú òun yóò ṣe àtìlẹ́yìn fún olùdíje tí wọ́n bá rí pé ó kún ojú òṣùwọ̀n. Àwọn adarí ilé-iṣẹ́ ọlọ́pàá ti pàṣẹ fún àwọn kọmíṣánná ọlọ́pàá káàkiri orílẹ̀-èdè láti tètè parí ìwádìí wọn lórí ẹ̀sùn títẹ ẹ̀tọ́ ọmọnìyàn mọ́lẹ̀ lákòókò ìdìbò ààrẹ tí ó kọjá. Àjọ ọlọ́pàá pàṣẹ kí wọ́n fi ọwọ́ àwọn ẹ̀sùn náà ṣọwọ́ sí àjọ elétò ìdìbò láti fi páńpẹ́ òfin mú irúfẹ́ ènìyàn bẹ́ẹ̀. Alukoro àjọ ọlọ́pàá Olúmúyìwá Adéjọbí sọ pé ọ̀gá àgbà ọlọ́pàá Usman Baba ni ó ti tún pàṣẹ kí àwọn ọlọ́pàá bá àwọn ẹni ọ̀rọ̀ kàn nípínlẹ̀ kó wa wọn láti fi ṣe ìkùlùkù lórí ìdí tí ó fi yẹ kí ètò ìdìbò ọjọ́ Sátidé jẹ́ ìtẹ́wọ́gbà. Gómìnà ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó Babájídé Sanwó-Olú ti ṣèlérí láti fìyà jẹ àwọn ilé ìfowópamọ́sí àti onílé ìtajà tí wọ́n bá kọ̀ láti gba owó náírà àtijọ́ nípínlẹ̀ náà. Sanwó-Olú nínú àtẹ̀jáde kan ṣèlérí láti ti ilé ìfowópamọ́ tí ó bá kọtíkún sí òfin náà pa. Ó rọ àwọn aráàlú láti lọ fi ẹ̀dùn ọkàn wọn hàn fáwọn aláṣẹ ẹnikẹ́ni tí ó bá kọ owó náírà àtijọ́. Gómìnà náà bẹnu àtẹ́lu ìṣòro tí àwọn ènìyàn ń kojú nípínlẹ̀ Èkó látàrí àtúnṣe owó náírà. Gẹ́gẹ́ bí ó ti sọ, owó náírà àtijọ́ ni ó wà fún títà àti rírà nípínlẹ̀ náà títí di ìparí ọdún. Ẹgbẹ́ òṣìṣẹ́ lórílẹ̀‐èdè yìí ti fún ìjọba àpapọ̀ ní gbèǹdéke ọjọ́ 7 láti wá ojútùú sí àwọn ọ̀wọ́ngógó náírà tó gbòde. Ààrẹ ẹgbẹ́ òṣìṣẹ́ Joe Ajaero ni ó kéde gbèǹdéke náà lẹ́yìn ìpàdé ẹgbẹ́ ọ̀hún nílùú Àbújá. Ajaero tí ó bẹnu àtẹ́lu ìṣòro tí àwọn ọmọ orílẹ̀-èdè ń kojú látàrí ọ̀wọ́ngógó owó náírà kìlọ̀ pé àwọn òṣìṣẹ́ ni wọn yóò pàṣẹ fún kí wọ́n jókòó sílé tí ìjọba àpapọ̀ bá kọ̀ tí wọn kò wá ojútùú sí ìṣòro náà kí gbèǹdéke náà tó ti ẹnu bẹ̀pọ̀. Báńkì àpapọ̀ ti sọ pé òun kò pàṣẹ fún àwọn ilé ìfowópamọ́sí láti gba tàbí fi owó náírà 500 àti 1000 san owó fáwọn ọmọ orílẹ̀-èdè yìí. Adelé adarí ẹ̀ka ìròyìn ní báńkì àpapọ̀ Isha Adumumini nínú àtẹ̀jáde ló sọ̀rọ̀ tako ohun tí gómìnà ìpínlẹ̀ Anambra Ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n Charles Soludo sọ pé báńkì àpapọ̀ ti pàṣẹ kí wọ́n máa fi owó náírà àtijọ́ sanwó. Ìròyìn sọ pé gómìnà báńkì àpapọ̀ tẹ́lẹ̀ náà Soludo ni ó pàṣẹ fún àwọn ilé ìfowópamọ́sí láti máa gbà kí wọ́n sì máa fi owó náírà àtijọ́ sanwó fáwọn ènìyàn nípínlẹ̀ náà. Àjọ tí ó ń ṣe ètò ìdánwò àṣewọlé sáwọn ilé ìwé gíga lórílẹ̀‐èdè yìí JAMB ti sọ pé ìdánwò ìgbáradì tí ó yẹ kí ó wáyé ní ọjọ́bọ̀ ọ̀sẹ̀ yìí ni wọ́n ti sún sí 30 oṣù yìí. Àjọ náà nínú àtẹ̀jáde kan látọwọ́ adarí ọ̀rọ̀ aráàlú ọ̀mọ̀wé Fibian Benjamin sọ pé ìsúnsíwájú náà kò ṣẹ̀yìn ìdìbò gómìnà àti ilé ìgbìmọ̀ aṣòfin ìpínlẹ̀ tí yóò wáyé lọ́jọ́ Sátidé. Ó fi kún pé àwọn akẹ́kọ̀ọ́ tí wọ́n ti fi fìfẹ́ hàn láti jókòó fún ìdánwò ìgbáradì náà ni wọn yóò kàn sí. Àjọ panápaná ti ìpínlẹ̀ Kano ti sọ pé iná ti jó àwọn ilé ìtajà àti ọ̀pọ̀ dúkìá ní ọjà Singa nílùú Kano. Àtẹ̀jáde kan látọwọ́ alukoro àjọ náà Tamonu Abdullahi sọ pé àwọn òṣìṣẹ́ àjọ náà ni ó tètè gbé ìgbésẹ̀ ní kété tí wọ́n gba ìpè pàjáwìrì. Abdullahi sọ pé ohun tí ó fa ìjàmbá iná náà ni kò sẹ́ni tí ó ti mọ̀. Ìròyìn lẹ́kùnrẹ́rẹ́ fún ti àṣálẹ́ yìí kò ní jù báyìí lọ. Ẹ pàdé wa lọ́la fún àkọ́tún ìròyìn. Ó dàárọ̀.